I just wanted to tell you guys about how I see this biggest con job of the century, and it is a big one. It really is. And there's so much to this situation and the stories behind what's going on with this family that you got to learn something at some point. You got to see how not to behave and how to treat people the right way that are your family, that have brought you up. And it almost makes me wonder, well, what about the relationship with her mother, Megan and her mother? Like, where did she get this from? How did Megan become this way? How did she become such a narcissist? And part of it is, I think, being an only child, with her mother and getting everything that she wanted. You kind of develop into this kind of a person. And there's a lot probably more behind becoming someone of this character. But it really makes me want to understand then. One of the things that I thought about was the naming of the child, and how you're going to name your child after the racist family, and we're supposed to believe the propaganda of the name, but yet behind the scenes we see that you've called them all kind of or you're trying to paint them in a certain light, but yet you're going to name your child after. That's just another one of those comparisons. But I was looking at the names of the mothers. So on that show that I was watching with the American Royal Baby, they had the comparison between the relationships of the mothers and the fathers of this couple. And so they drawn the relationship between Harry and his mother and Meghan and her mother, and showed how they're very similar. And then they drew the comparison between Harry and Meghan with their relationships with their fathers and how they're similar. Well, this is the one thing that I was not sure. Well, then why did you name your child then one after the grandmother? Why not name her Doria as well? Look at the similarities between Doria and Diana. They both begin with D. They both end with the letter A. They both have 5 letters in it. They both have 3 syllables. Doria, Diana. So she could have really drawn a very close comparison between naming her child by the mothers of both her and her husband. It could have been Diana Doria or Doria Diana. And you would have really felt that connection of someone who was being sincere and true to the comparison of both the parents of both of the couple, Meghan and Harry, and their mothers. But she didn't do that, because we see the conniving come in for the part of her naming the child Lilibet. It's like she blew it. She had a perfect opportunity to do something that would have legitimized the naming of this child behind special people. So really, is Doria really a special person in this woman's life, or does Doria serve a purpose of showing the blackness that she portrays? Does Doria serve a purpose of being legitimized by the black community? Because really, not until you see the mother that you understand that she's got some black in her. Most people would think, oh, maybe Hispanic, Italian, but not black. So drawing that comparison, I thought, was important. And I think to understand if she was being sincere, she would have come to that conclusion herself about naming her daughter after her mother, if the mother were really that special to her. So naming the child Lilibet Diana, the Diana makes sense, but does the Lilibet make sense? No, the Lilibet doesn't make no sense. Not when you have the example of the mother that you could have used that would have made sense. So that right there shows you more. And for me, watching that show, how they just, when they were on location and She's like, well, we're here in London and everyone's so excited the baby's been born, and when will we see the first pictures of the baby? Well, propaganda, because we're not going to see a picture of the baby because she's going to use the picture of the baby to make money, because I believe that they are hurting financially. I don't know if they're maybe hurting, but it's not coming in, I guess, how they had expected by now, especially when you have a house that you're still paying on. So they're using those pictures for that child to make money. You best be believing that. And then I'm not even sure, like, how much say do they even have in these shows? You know, because how they made Kate look was so egregious, because there was a scene where she was saying about all these things about Megan. Well, you know, she's divorced, and, you know, she's all like rattling all these things down and saying how she made Wallace Simpson look like an angel compared to the things that, you know, she is. And then she also mentioned, and, you know, something about her being black, you know, and they just made that Kate character seem so unlikable. It was really not nice. So I almost wonder, like, do they have say into, like, do they give like an unofficial, like, okay, go ahead, make that movie, y'all. Are you gonna say that? Or you gonna make it look like this? Okay, go ahead. We ain't gonna say nothing. We ain't gonna sue you, but go ahead and make the money. Or go ahead and make the movie. Like, giving them a wink and a smile. Like, go ahead and do this. We got you. We got you. Is it like that? I almost have to wonder. Because I don't know how they could even get a fairy tale out of this story. But they can. So don't forget the people in their bathwater. We can't forget there are people that are falling for it. We cannot dismiss that. And I know we might think, oh, it's not that many people. Don't be surprised if what we think is not true in terms of the number of people that are falling for it. Especially in America, because we are not, like I said, following royalty. We'll hear about it in the passing story of the news, or we'll see a propaganda movie come up and like, oh, okay, that's Princess Diana's son. I'm going to watch this movie. And then they sit there and they fall for the okie doke, like the whole time watching the movie, and like, oh, isn't that special? Oh, look at that Meghan Markle girl. I just like her so much. She's so sweet, you know. And they like, okay, what y'all want for dinner tonight? You know, they just keeping it moving. Like, no one's really paying attention. You know, so you got to be aware. You have to be aware to know that there's a lot of people that are not, like, looking at this, the behind the scenes. Oh, and then the other thing about Chrissy Teigen. She was in this, and I don't know, I need to maybe do a video on her, because apparently she and John Legend are getting a divorce. That girl was mean. Like, she has done some really, really mean things. And people are finding out, like, things about her, and now they're talking about, well, who is going to be her friends? Who is going to be her friends? And yeah, so that's all I'm going to say for this video, you guys. I'm going to be compiling this list of the propaganda and what is the real story, and really comparing the things that we are seeing with this couple, because I'm telling you, it is the biggest con job of the century. All right, peace and love. Bye bye.